What's up YouTube, Tom from Tech Stops here coming your way, and today we're doing a review of the HTC Sensation. This is available on the Telstra Next G network in Australia and T-Mobile in the States, and it's HTC's top of the line offering from their smartphone range. Has a 4.3 inch Super LCD screen, comes with a 1.2 GHz dual core processor, has an 8 megapixel front, rear facing camera and a VGA front facing camera. This is the cream of the crop from HTC, so I'm keen to check it out, do a review for you guys and let you guys know exactly what this phone's about and how it performs. Alright, so if we just quickly run through the phone and how it looks and where all the buttons are and so forth. On the top there you've got your earphone speaker, and you also got your VGA camera there, front facing camera. Down the bottom you've got 4 buttons. You've got the home, menu, back and search button. These are all touch sensitive on the LCD screen. They're not actually physical buttons themselves. There's no physical buttons on the front of the screen. On the left hand side of the Sensation you've got the volume rocker right there. It's nice and sturdy and well built. And on the bottom you've got your USB 2.0 connection and charger point as well. On the top you've got your power button and your 3.5mm jack for your headphones. On the right hand side there's no actual buttons there, or on the bottom do have your little microphone. And at the back you've got your 8 megapixel camera with a dual LED light. You also have your microphone for your speakerphone, or sorry, your speaker for your speakerphone and your microphone there. And one feature with the HTC Sensation and other HTC phones is when you're actually speaking and then you turn your phone over and you put it down, the speakerphone automatically, hands-free speakerphone automatically activates. And also if the phone is ringing and it's you're holding it there and you put it down, the ringing will automatically silence. It won't hang up, but it will just silence the actual ringing tone. So that's the HTC Sensation from the outside. Like I did say earlier, it's got a 1.2 GHz dual core processor. It's running Gingerbread 2.3, Android 2.3 Gingerbread, and Sense 3.0 over the top of it. It's got a 4.3 inch LED, Super LCD screen rather, resolution 960 by 540, and it's also got the 8 megapixel camera. Weight wise, doesn't weigh much at all, about 5.2 ounces or 150 grams, so it's nice and light, and that is with the battery. And it's got a 1 gigabyte of internal storage, and it's also expandable by a micro SD card. So if we just talk about initially the hardware side of things, this phone is super fast with a 1.2 GHz dual core processor. You really won't have any lag in the phone whatsoever. It's nice and quick. It's quick for the internet. All your apps load up really quickly. If we just load up some apps here, just load up say Angry Birds Rio and you're straight into it. If we load up another game there, you've just got the little app button there. Got this drag racing game, which I really haven't played much. It was just a free download. So if we test drive this car, and you're right into the game there. So you can see the graphics look pretty good on the Super LCD screen. We'll talk about that in just a moment. And the sound itself on the rear speaker itself is also pretty good. I'm not sure how you can hear it on this video, but they do sound good. You do get a little bit of a tinny sort of reflection like you do in most speakerphones, but it's actually very good from a speakerphone perspective. So there is limited or no lag on here. If we turn the internet on, you're straight into it, and you know, there's really no lag whatsoever. So it's super quick. There's no sort of grey areas when you're zooming in and out. The touch to zoom is fantastic. It works very well on this Gingerbread 2.3 with the HTC Sense. You know, you got the size, which the text size readjusts to your particular zooming range, so works really well. you go into any articles and it's just super quick, so it works very well from that perspective, and that's all due to the 1.2 gigahertz dual core processor, which is an absolute dream, and it's a super speed freak from a processing point of view, and everything just works really well. What you do suffer with that one and the LCD screen, which is a 4.3 inch super LCD, is the battery life. It is not fantastic. It's a 1520 milliamp hours battery, but due to the screen real estate, the size of it, and the fast processor, it does chew battery life, and you'll get about a day's worth of battery on this HTC Sensation, which isn't fantastic. It's about standard for these kind of phones and the iPhones and so forth, but it is very battery hungry. One good thing with these is you can pop the back of the cover off just by clicking this button here. You pull this whole back cover off, and you can replace it with a full battery if you have a spare battery. Probably wouldn't encourage you to do that often, but you can do that. Otherwise, just charge it as you need in your car or at work or wherever that may be. Moving on to the LCD screen, the Super LCD, you do get nice vibrant colours, and they're nice and crisp. They're not as nice as something like the Super AMOLED screens that some of the other phones may have, or the Retina display. It is nice, but there are slightly crisper, nicer screens out there. But you really won't notice, if this is the only phone you're using, you really won't notice that. It's only if you compare it face to face next to another Super AMOLED screen will you notice that that one is a little bit more vibrant than this one may be. Another thing is, it's bright enough in bright sunlight conditions, but sometimes with the reflective LCD screen it can be difficult to read at times. So just keep that in mind, and that's with large smartphone screens. That's often the case. Once you do get the brightness right up, it does again chew a lot of battery life. If we move on to the actual Gingerbread and HTC Sense 3.0, the operating software is fantastic. Android have done a lot of work with this new OS, and it works well. And HTC Sense 3.0, which this is the first phone to have that loaded on straight out of the box, works really well. You've got all sorts of options in there. You can change the lock screens, for instance, which is something they have changed. You can have the weather. You can have your friends stream. You can have all sorts of different scenarios. You can have the stock. So if we just got the weather, we'll apply that, and I'll show you how that looks. That's your lock screen right there, and it's now telling me that it's 15 degrees Celsius and raining. To unlock it, you just move this circle anywhere and let it go into the actual screen, and that'll unlock it. So we can just do that, and it'll unlock it back to where you were. Just like you can see, it's a very snappy processor, so you push anything and it happens straight away. If we lock it back up and go to unlock it, you've also got these 4 icons down the bottom there. These are interchangeable and you can customize them to whatever you want, but what that allows you to do is, if you want to go straight into your phone and not into your home screen, you just select the icon you want, pull it into the little circle there, and it will go straight into that particular application. So that's a very neat feature. You can customize these. If you want to go into the camera, you just get the camera button, drop it right in, and there's the camera, and it's ready to go straight away. So you can just take a photo, and there you go. So it works very well, and it's very intuitive, and something that HTC have really thought about the end user and really done a great job. In respect to call quality, this phone really stands out from its competition. Call quality is absolutely fantastic. You get really good signal strength on this phone, more so than probably any smartphone that I've tested or used, and the call quality is exceptional. You hear everyone very clearly, there's no dropouts, and it's just an absolute dream to use. Some other smartphones I have found that they're great to use as for applications and so forth, but as an actual phone, they're not fantastic. That's definitely not the case with the Sensation. You get great call quality, and also when you flip it over and you use the hands-free device, it's actually one of the best hands-free speaker phones on the market. It works really well. It's nice and crisp and loud, and you can hear everyone clearly and they can hear you. So from a phone quality perspective, it is exceptional. In respect to the camera, 8 megapixel camera, shoots 1080p also with a dual LED flashlight there. The camera itself is a real surprise and it works well. like all smartphones, it won't ever replace a DSLR or your a good point and shoot. So if you're looking for really quality images for a special occasion, then take your camera. But for most scenarios where you just want to snap away and capture the moment, this camera is fantastic. 8 megapixel allows you to get a lot of detail in your images, and the camera itself produces fairly sharp images and is pretty good in low light situations as well, and those dual LED flashes work really well. Moving on to the front, the VGA camera there for FaceTime and other applications is okay, not as good as the rear facing camera, and it can produce some grainy images. So that camera itself isn't fantastic, but the 8 megapixel primary camera on the back is exceptional. So the HTC Sensation, in summary, is one of the best smartphones I have tested, and it works really well, does everything very well, and it's just a dream to use. It's a dream to hold. It feels good in the hand. The construction, actually, we'll move on to the construction quickly. That is a real HTC trademark. This phone does not let HTC down on that respect. Its build quality is fantastic and second to none, and it's probably the best build quality I've seen in a smartphone. It's just beautiful all the way throughout. The nice little finishes, the chrome touches, it feels solid. It feels like if you drop it, as long as you don't drop it on the screen and crack it, it'll last a decent drop and it will just work really well. HTC have been making good quality, good constructed quality phones for a long time, and they haven't let the consumer down with the Sensation. So overall, it is a fantastic phone. It is probably my favourite smartphone out on the market. There are some small things that HTC could improve on, but all in all, as a smartphone package, you will be hard pressed to find a better phone than this one. This performance is second to none with the dual core processor. The screen is nice and vibrant. All in all, it's a beautiful phone. So if you're after a smartphone like this with a large screen, a lot of screen real estate there, with excellent call quality and a fantastic operating system, then check out the HTC Sensation. This is Tom from TechStops here. Don't forget to let me know what you think by sending me a tweet on Twitter at TechStops. I'll catch you guys next time.